Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to the review and unboxing for The Doors, LA Woman, 50th anniversary edition of the album itself, originally released in 1971. Last studio album to feature Jim Morrison on it. This edition here just released on Friday, December 3rd of 2021. But before we dive into all of this, if you are new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this, with taking a look at The Doors LA Woman 50th anniversary box set edition. So a little context history on The Doors. They formed back in 1965 and lasted only 8 years, disbanding in 1973. Of course, the most famous lineup being with Jim Morrison on vocals, Ray Manzarek on keyboards, Robbie Krieger on guitar, and John Densmore on drums. During their short time together, though, they did release 8 studio albums, 6 with Jim Morrison, including LA Woman from 1971, which we're going to talk about, and then 2 without Jim Morrison, and you can see them there behind me at the top. Other Voices in 1971 and Full Circle in 1972. We had Robbie Krieger and Ray Manzarek handling vocals on those. And then in 1978 they released the posthumous album, you can see it below Other Voices, called An American Prayer. So they had a total of 9 studio albums released. In all, they've sold over 33 million copies of their albums in the United States and over 100 million worldwide. So that just underlines the enduring success of the band itself, and of course the albums like LA Woman, which we're going to talk about here. And so this one being their 6th studio album, and as I mentioned last, to feature Jim Morrison on vocals. He would die 3 months after the release of the album. So this one here is celebrating its 50th anniversary, heavily influenced by the blues. I mean, all of their albums and stuff was, but this album here really was more so than even previous albums. Interestingly, though, it was recorded without their longtime producer, Paul Rothchild. They had a falling out with him over the perceived lack of quality of performances, which I find really interesting because this album is often cited as the best Doors album that they put out. In my opinion, it certainly is. Instead, they had it produced by their sound engineer, Bruce Botnick. It was recorded in just 6 days. Kind of crazy too, the short time and everything this was recorded over, and yet it is just as classic and great as it is. They did it in a makeshift studio. It was set up in their private rehearsal space called the Workshop. This was to allow a more comfortable atmosphere, which I think certainly comes across in the overall studio recording of the album itself, but also the sessions that you get to hear on the 2 bonus discs that come with this box set here. And so that's what we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about what's in this box. So it is a 3 CD, 1 LP set. I've got the hype sticker here, which I want to show you guys. I'd already opened it, so I don't have it on the outside of it like I sometimes do, but just thought I'd read this to you. Original 1971 stereo mix, remastered on CD and 180 gram LP. Includes 2 hours of newly remixed audio from the original multi-track session tapes. Experience the progression of each song as it developed in the studio. It is also numbered limited edition box set, so that's kind of cool too. So we've got CD1 here and the LP itself, which is the original album, newly remastered. So it's not the 40th anniversary remix that they had done of these things. This also has then CDs 2 and 3, the LA Woman Sessions, featuring over 2 hours of unreleased studio outtakes. And as that hype sticker said, it really allows the listener to hear that progression of the track as it developed in the studio, where they focused really more on groove than the overall technical perfection of the song itself. My only complaint with the those two discs and the way that they put this together is that while the quality is surprisingly good, so I'm really enjoying that aspect of this, they don't fade in and out from the different takes. And a lot of times they just start up right in the middle of it. And I don't know if that's the case, that the beginnings were lost, because it's not, you don't hear them counting off and then joining in and say the middle of a bridge or something. It literally just cuts right into it. So it just has sort of a feeling of being very choppy the way this is put together, as opposed to it being a much more fluid feel to it, the way that, say, their previous box set, Morrison Hotel, where they also had that sort of fly on the wall aspect to it, getting to hear different tracks as it developed. I think that the previous box set did it a lot better. That had a much more album quality feel to the way it was put together than to say these two discs that are in here. That's not to say I'm not enjoying it. Obviously, I really like what I'm hearing on it. That fly on the wall experience is hard to beat, and certainly feeling like you're there in the studio with them is an amazing thing. Now, among the outtakes that are included within those sessions, they've got some blues covers that are in here. Crawling King Snake, the John Lee Hooker song, 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Get Out of My Life Woman, which was made popular by Lee Dorsey, 3 minutes and 56 seconds. They've got two others in here, Baby Please Don't Go by Big Joe Williams and Mystery Train Junior Parker. But don't get too excited over those two tracks. They didn't announce this in advance. I only found out after I got it and opened it up, because it's not even on the back card that tells you what's in here. Baby Please Don't Go is only 7 seconds long, and Mystery Train is a whole 24 seconds long. And really, that's just them tuning up and getting ready for a very short, brief few seconds of it. So I'm not even sure why they bothered to include them, but they're there. And so I've seen a lot of reviews promoting it with those four, and two of them just really aren't even worth it, in my opinion, unfortunately. There is a book of extensive liner notes in here by David Frick, who explores the making of the album, which is kind of really cool to get that different insight. So I'm going to show you the box set, but I wanted to point this out too. One of the other things that I felt a little let down by this box was just that it could have included more beyond 3 CDs and 1 LP. As I said, there is the, what you see behind me there, the 2006 alternate mix of the album that they had put out for the 40th anniversary of the band having formed in 1966. And so there's a different mix of the album that could have been included. There's also the 40th anniversary edition of the album itself, which came with a disc of alternate takes. Those are not in here. They have also put out a documentary about the making of the album, DVD. I don't know if it was on Blu-ray, called Mr. Mojo Rising. I really feel like they could have gathered all that up. I do appreciate the fact that I'm not paying twice for something here by them including all of it, but for the 50th anniversary, it would have kind of been nice to have gotten it all grouped together. All right, so let's take a look at this beautiful box set. Here we've got the front cover of it. You can see if I move it around, that front photo of them here is a glossy finish to it, so it reflects in the light, which is kind of cool, as opposed to the matte background of everything else that's on here. There's the back side of it, and it's got the limited edition numbering there that's on it, and we've got the spine, of course. So very well done, just like their previous two boxes, the Soft Parade and Morrison Hotel. And then if we open it up here, you can see that we get the 3 discs on this side, the LP with the book and so forth over here. I'm going to put this down for just a second so I can pull some things out and show you. I wanted to show you this too. This is the piece of paper that goes on the back side of it itself that tells you what's in here when you're buying it. That's behind the shrink wrap. You can see it leaves a little cut out there for the limited edition numbering, but then that way, that's what you see. And as you can tell, see, there's no times next to these things. So when you read this stuff and you think, oh, hey, it's got those cover songs that are on this thing, you don't exactly know how long those are, unfortunately. Okay, and then in here we've also got the vinyl itself. I do kind of wish this came in a sleeve that replicated the album cover and whatnot, but they just put it in like this. I guess the front of the box is your album sleeve, and so you do get the really nice 180 gram vinyl. You get those old school labels on it, which is really nice too. I always like that label for the band the best. And then you get the booklet that again is the same as the other box sets. So it's not a hardcover book. It is separate so you can pull it out. But again, it's very flimsy, so it's hard. It's something like I can't really hold it up and show you that way because it's not. So I can't open it. I mean, it's a great booklet, but you have to lay it flat in order to do it. It isn't something that is like a hardcover book. So, well, you get some really great images and you get a lot of cool text and stuff that's in here, a making of documentary, so to speak, the way that this is written in here. It's, you know, I do wish that they had made it so that it, you know, was a hardcover book and would stand up a little bit better. So a few little minor complaints on this box set, but overall, very good. And, you know, like if you like the other box sets, you're going to like this one. So while this album here may have been the last album to feature Jim Morrison on it, he certainly went out in style, making arguably their best album. I think it still holds up today, 50 years later. I think with this new deluxe edition here, it certainly provides a new insight into the band, the way that they created, the genius at work. And in my opinion, it's essential listening for such a classic album to be able to hear how it was created and so forth. So to the 2 hours fly on the wall experience is totally worthwhile for this. And there you go. That is the Doors LA Woman 50th Anniversary Review and Unboxing. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Do check the description for links to related videos. In particular, I have done full reviews for the Soft Parade Deluxe Edition, Morrison Hotel that's behind me there. And I'm going to leave those in it. But I've also done a video that explores the post-Morrison 1971 era and beyond. And it covers things like the disc that you see there behind me, the recorded output that was done and released after his death. So it's a cool little video on that if you want to check that out and understand what has kept the Doors alive and their popularity for so long. I talk about that within that discussion topic video. All right, and certainly, again, if you've enjoyed this video, consider sharing it out on social media. I would really appreciate the support that way as well. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon.